Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and I'm back in my Universal Electricity test world, hanging out on the FTB pack of Universal Electricity, ready to show you guys Mekanism. Mekanism is a mod that adds all kinds of, I'd say almost middle tier type of tools and items and machines to the Universal Electricity mod. You can see there's a bunch of machines here, and there's also a handful of generators and storage and all kinds of cool stuff to start checking out. So we're going to show you guys some of the uses beyond cooking things in a furnace for your universal electricity, and we'll also be showing you guys other ways to generate it, all using Mekanism. So let's get started checking it out. Alright, the very first block I want to show you guys here, block/machine, is the Enrichment Chamber, which is around here somewhere. There it is, Enrichment Chamber. Cool. This guy is going to need some of those control circuits which you've seen, and a block of steel, and you're also going to need some enriched alloy, which is basically redstone around an iron ingot. Not too hard. And you're going to need to supply this guy with 120 volts of power. Not bad. The Enrichment Chamber is pretty cool. It's basically a macerator. Go ahead and throw an item in there, and it's going to very quickly and loudly go ahead and generate some dusts for you. Let's check it out. There we go. 2 iron dust from 1 iron ore. So the enrichment chamber here, as you can see, is pretty much basically like a macerator, but it allows you to double your ore like most macerator type machines. And you can go ahead and throw those iron dusts into an electric furnace and cook it up if you need. So we could come over here and do it right there. Nice. Now we're going to need to use the enrichment chamber for some other recipes, which is the reason I showed this one to you guys first. The next block that I want to show you here is the platinum compressor. It's this guy. Check that out. Alright, so what the platinum compressor does, and you can actually click on this guy to see some recipes, the platinum compressor is pretty neat. What you can get here is place platinum ingots in the bottom and either obsidian or glowstone dust in the top. And what you'll get from this is either an obsidian or a glowstone ingot. And this is used for a couple different things. So place the, like I said, platinum ingot in the bottom, and it'll fill up that little internal buffer. And then the dust goes in the top. And you'll get the liquid ingot getting compressed down with the glowstone dust. Progress bar right here. Boom, glowstone ingot. Cool. And this guy, like I said, is going to be used for a few recipes. You can actually get some glowstone tools out of this thing, and the same with obsidian tools. There's also armor available as well, and these guys have different abilities and that kind of stuff. The main difference between all the different tools, by the way, for example, if we were to look at a pickaxe, you can see there's a bunch of them. You can get lapis and obsidian and platinum and glowstone, are mostly a difference between how much durability they have and how fast they can mine. Next up is a very interesting machine called a combiner, and what this guy does is kind of the opposite of the of this block over here, the enrichment chamber. Check it out. All you gotta do is place some cobblestone in the bottom slot, and you'll see it's again sucked up in there, and then place your dust in the top slot. You're gonna need 2 dust to create an ore. So I put 2 gold dust up here, and you can see it kind of processing, combining with the cobblestone. I guess that's what it does. It's the combiner, and it gets you gold ore. Pretty neat. But you could also, I believe, do this with redstone if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and throw some redstone in there and see if it works. Nope, guess that one doesn't work. So you're going to have to use your ore dusts in your combiner. So if you want to get your ores back from your dusts, there's an option. Next up, we've got the crusher. Now, one option with the crusher is to go ahead and start crushing your ingots back into dusts. Cool. But if you want, you can also go ahead and crush some things like saplings or seeds or other kinds of plant-like life. Let's try that. Oh, it's got a pretty neat interface on the front there too. And what that gets you is some biofuel. You get 1 biofuel from seeds, and you get 2 biofuel from saplings and other more advanced forms of plant life. There we go. And we're going to use that in our biofuel generator in just a bit. Next up, we've got our smelting factories. These guys are pretty neat. You can see, again, you need some blocks of steel for this and some enrichment alloys and a little bit of gold dust to get yourself the first basic smelting factory. Now this guy is cool because he allows you to smelt 3 items simultaneously. It's not going to be too much faster than smelting in a furnace, the progress of each individual item, but since you can do 3 at once, it's awesome and allows you to basically triple the speed of your smelting. And of course there's an upgrade to that, the advanced smelting factory, which uses a basic smelter and some diamond dust, and this guy allows you to do 5 items at once. How crazy is that? And it wouldn't be complete without the ultimate smelting factory. Again, a little bit more expensive, requiring an atomic core, which is a whole bunch of dusts and enrichment alloys and diamonds. This guy allows you to smelt a whopping 7 items at once. How crazy is that? Cool. Nice. That is a pretty neat smelting factory right there. I like it a lot. And in these machines, you might have noticed this neat little slot up in the top left. This is for your upgrades. You've got 3. The speed upgrade, which has a tick reduction on it. It's not too bad to make, some platinum dust, but you do need an emerald. Or you could get an energy upgrade. This guy requires an energy tablet, which I haven't shown you yet. Or you can get the ultimate upgrade, which is kind of a combination between the two. And you'll see in the tooltip there what it does. So it's basically the speed upgrade allows your machine to work faster, where the energy upgrade allows you to increase the storage capacity of the internal buffer here. And the ultimate upgrade is a combination of the two. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the speed upgrade in my basic smelting factory and show you guys that it smelts a bit faster now. Do note though that these guys do not stack, so you can't have multiples in one machine. Next, we've got the metallurgic infuser. This guy allows you to make bronze and steel. To make bronze, you're going to want to combine tin dust with copper ingots. And you can see it kind of processing. It's even got a little inventory slot over here, so if you want to go ahead and throw a bunch more tin dust in at once, you can. But that guy will go ahead and process and make you some bronze. Cool. And you can see here that there's still a little bit of an inventory of tin dust in this slot there, so you get more than 1 bronze per 1 tin. Not bad. But there's another thing you can do, which is make steel in a very cool way. So we can check out the recipes here on the metallurgic infuser, again, just by clicking on the center area. You get compressed carbon, which is made 1 for 1 by smelting your coal, or you can put 4 coal in an enrichment chamber like that, and you'll get 8. So those are your options for making compressed carbon. Your other required component is enriched iron, which you can get either from copper dust and iron to get a few, or a little bit more if you want to use enriched alloys. Not bad. Let's give it a shot. So just going to place my compressed carbon here. You can see it kind of filled up that little inventory slot, and now it's processing. And that will get us steel, which can be used, as you guys have seen, for a lot of the machines and other tools in universal electricity. And that steel is interchangeable with Railcraft, by the way. You get steel dust and just need to smelt it. Awesome. I like that a lot. And the block looks really cool too, by the way. And now we've got the electrolytic separator. Not too hard to use. Pretty straightforward, really. Go ahead and get yourself a water bucket and supply some power. And what it's going to do is going to go ahead and start draining the water out of the side here, and it'll start creating hydrogen and oxygen. Pretty cool. So you can see that we've got a little bit of hydrogen and oxygen getting generated here. So basically, just like in real life, if you run an electric current through water, it'll split into hydrogen and oxygen. Now, in order to store your gases, you're going to need to create a storage tank with just some iron ingots around some iron dust. Go ahead and plop it in the side there, and you'll see that it starts filling up with the stored hydrogen. Now, the oxygen and hydrogen cannot be stored in the same tank. If you want to store your oxygen, you're going to have to go ahead and put it in a different tank. Cool. Not so bad. You might notice this dump button over here as well. Basically, what the dump button does, I'll show you real quick, once we get ourselves a little bit more of the stuff. If you are only using this to create hydrogen and don't care about the oxygen, you can go ahead and switch the dump button to O, and you'll see that it just instantly dumped out all the oxygen into the environment and the atmosphere. You can do the same for the hydrogen if you want, or with the X, nothing is dumped. Cool. You can also connect the water and the oxygen to another system that we haven't gotten into from another mod, so there is an automatic way to go ahead and get this guy running, just so you know. Not bad. Cool. And the final machine here that we have that accepts power is the theoretical elementalizer. Requiring a block of diamond is a pretty nifty tool. Throw some enriched alloy in the top and some diamonds in the bottom. And it's going to take a lot of energy to run, like a real lot. You can see I've got it draining right now. It's draining its internal buffer, but I've got a nice setup down here producing infinite power thanks to my infinite power upgrade. Cool. Which again is a creative item in case you weren't paying attention during my last spotlight. Let's give this guy a moment to run and I'll show you what it creates. Oh, cool. Check this out. My first item is a weather orb. If we right click, it allows us to check out what our current setup is. So I can turn on the rain if I want to. And now even though I'm in the desert, but I'm going to run over this jungle biome and show you guys that it is in fact raining. Cool. It has a little bit of an internal cooldown, so you can see right here on the damage bar, it's kind of self-repairing itself. That's basically your internal cooldown, so you can't use this item too often. You can check it out. You can switch it to clear as well if you want when you're ready to. Now, the downside of these elementalizers is it's hard to control which items you're going to get, but one of the other ones it can make is Steve's stopwatch. Pretty cool. You can set the time with this. So I'm going to go ahead and disable the part of NEI that prevents time from changing, and go ahead and flip this guy to midnight. Boom! How cool is that? And same as the weather orb, it has an internal countdown before it can be used again. So that pretty much covers all the machines that can actually do stuff in the mod. Now let's start looking at some of the energy storage and creation options that the mod makes available to us. So I'm just going to go ahead and run over here and show you guys the energy cubes. These guys are a way of storing energy. So another option for you if you'd like to store some energy. Cool. So we've got the basic energy cube here. You can see this guy can store a total of 1,000 kilojoules. The next upgraded version is the advanced energy cube, which can store 2.5 megajoules. And then finally, the third ultimate one can store 5 megajoules. Awesome. And you can see there are voltage indicators right there as well. Pretty neat. So just another option for storing your energy in universal electricity. Remember, these are all separate mods, so granted there's a couple different ways to store energy. It's really your choice which one you want to use. Now, switching back to the gases for a moment, I really want to show you guys the gas tank, which is kind of a block form of the storage tank. You can place it right next to your electrolyte separator here, and you can see right now it's not storing any gas. But if I were to go ahead and throw a water bucket inside of this guy, we should see the hydrogen that it's produced by it goes straight into the gas tank. Cool, so it's storing hydrogen. You can also go ahead and throw a storage tank in the bottom slot here to drain out the storage tank, or you can place it in the top to fill it. So keep this in mind because we're about to see some generators that can run on this hydrogen power. And along with the basic energy cubes and the other kinds of energy cubes, you can go ahead and throw an energy tablet in here. It's basically a battery. So the energy tablet is a way of storing power, and it's also used in a couple other different cool machines and items. Awesome. So speaking of power generation, let's go ahead and check out what we can get. So I'm going to get myself one of those ultimate storage cubes, and I'm also going to get myself the energy reader that comes with this mod, the handheld multimeter from the electric expansion mod. Cool. And finally, I'm going to need some wiring. Let's get these guys hooked up so we can check out what they produce. First off, and you know what? I'm not even going to go with the handheld one. I'll just go with the block version of the multimeter. That sounds like a really good plan, actually. Cool. All right. So let's run some cabling here, and we'll start showing you guys the different forms of power generation. Nice. So let's do it. First up, we've got solar power. Boom, place him just like so. And you'll note that he has one little side that he can connect his wiring to, so keep that in mind. And when that happens, he's going to create for you 8.3 amps and 120 volts, which is equivalent to about 1 kilowatt. You can see here the solar generator running is true and how much it's got, and a little indicator here to let you know that it's going right now. If it were midnight, for example, the sun would be false, it would show a darkened thing, and there's no energy being produced. Cool. And remember, for comparison's sake, you got 1 kilowatt out of this and 8.3 amps. If we were over here checking out our coal generator, which comes from the default of the mod, the universal electricity, go ahead and throw this in here. Let's see how much energy we get from this guy. So remember, this generator has a bit of a heat up time, but even though I just threw some coal in here, it's already up to almost 3 kilowatts, and it's going to continue to rise. And the max output is 10 kilowatts. So basically, once you have your coal generator up and running at full speed, it creates 10 kilowatts compared to the 1 that this basic solar panel creates. And you'll see the recipe for your solar panel requires some solar panels, some of those enriched alloys, and some platinum dust in that energy tablet I told you about earlier. The solar panels are pretty easy, just more platinum and an enriched alloy. Not too shabby. But of course there is an advanced version of the solar panel which has 4 solar generators built in, requires some iron and enriched alloy. Let's check this guy out. We're just going to swap these 2 blocks. Cool. Now you do want to probably go ahead and place it correctly so that the block is facing the right way. There we go. Make sure it's connected to the side there. And we'll see that this guy is generating for us 9 kilowatts. So almost as good as a full speed generator. Not quite though. And you can see again the same thing. Sun true and the amount of energy being stored and then instantly transferred out. Not bad. And the energy is all being stored in our basic energy cube here. Your next option is a heat generator, which requires lava to go ahead and run. So you can see here we've got a heat generator running at the moment, and he's producing for us 1.6 kilowatts of power, so a little bit more than a solar. And the nice thing about this is it's kind of infinite energy in that it will quickly generate energy from the lava, and you're not going to have to, use up this lava source. So as long as it's sitting above a water block or a lava block like that, it will generate its power, which is cool. Like I said, a little bit better than the solar in terms of generation, but does require lava nearby. And you do want to watch out every now and then. Some fires can break out near the block, so make sure you don't have it near any wooden sources. The heat generator is shown here in the recipe form. You're going to need some of that enriched iron, enriched alloys, and some platinum. And next up, we've got the biogenerator. This guy runs off of biofuel, which you guys saw me make just a little bit ago. Go ahead and throw your biofuel in there, and it'll start storing an internal storage of biofuel in the left. And you can see right now how much biofuel is left in there and how much energy it's producing. Cool. Over here, we can see that it's producing 11.2 kilowatts, so a little bit more efficient than a coal generator, and it comes from saplings or seeds or any kind of growable resources, so not too bad. It does process those biofuel pretty quickly as well. So it's a very rapid way of generating power compared to some of the other ones, but it does require a constant supply, as you see. There, it's completely run out. And finally, we've got the hydrogen generator. Cool. This guy uses hydrogen. And you can see here, once I've placed my hydrogen gas in there, it started creating it. So let's get a bit more hydrogen in terms of stored hydrogen cells and see how much energy this guy is producing. Over here you can see it's producing 20 kilowatts. So the amount of energy produced by 2 of those coal generators, and all you got to do really to create this is use water. So basically it runs on water and it produces a lot of energy. You just need a little bit of infrastructure to start creating it, aka the electrolytic separator. Cool. And do note that the separator can sit right next to the hydrogen generator. So if you do have this guy sitting right next to it, like this, all you gotta do is get a water bucket and keep that thing filled with water, and this thing will slowly accept the hydrogen from the adjacent block. So by putting your electrolytic separator right here next to your hydrogen generator, constantly supply this guy with water, and you'll have a constant supply of power. At this point in the mod, there is no use for oxygen, but the mod author, Aidan C. Brady, is planning, I think, to eventually add some kind of scuba mask. Now there are a few tools added by this mod. One of them is the Paxil, which is a cool little device. You can see there's a bunch of versions of the Paxil for all the different types of stuff. This guy is basically a pickaxe and an axe and a shovel all in one. So it has the mining speed that's boosted for all types of material. So it combines all 3 tools. Pretty nice. So you can use it on wood or cobble or dirt or sand or whatever you want really. Not too shabby. I like it. But there's an even better tool, an electronic tool called the atomic disassembler. This guy is a little bit advanced. Let's go ahead and check out the recipe on him. You're going to need an atomic core, one of those energy tablets, a bunch of enriched alloy, and some obsidian ingots. And that guy will get you a pretty cool device. Simply store him in an energy cube, and you can see he's going to store a lot of power. Right here, it's building up its internal storage. This guy can mine and harvest things very quickly. He's very fast. And he'll work on all blocks as well. Cool. That is a nice little device. And finally, we have this cool, the electric bow. Nice. You can go ahead and charge him up inside a storage unit, like so. There we go. And the electric bow can fire arrows. It's a little bit slow, but it's very powerful. It can shoot much stronger than other stuff. So let's get ourselves a few spiders and go for some target practice. There we go. Now what you'll find about this guy, you can see it takes a while to charge up. Boom. Nice. Cool. Not bad. The one cool thing about him, check that out. There's less of an arc on the electric bow. It does more damage, and if you shift right click, it turns on fire mode, which you might be thinking means it has something to do with how it fires, but no, it's much more literal than that. It adds fire to the arrows. Ha! How cool is that? So shift right click to turn on fire mode, but it will of course use more energy if you do that, so keep that in mind. And finally, there's an upgraded version of TNT called Obsidian TNT. This stuff is made with obsidian and 3 TNT blocks, so it's going to have a much stronger, powerful explosion radius than regular TNT, but it's pretty cool. Oh boy. So now that we're back from our death, we can go ahead and check out all the explosion caused by that nifty little device. Cool. Now, before I wrap up, there is one more thing I want to show you because I have a dev build of this mod. It's not currently released yet, but it's an upcoming feature called the teleporter. Cool. Requires a lot of refined obsidian, so you're going to need a good amount of that. And you're going to need a teleportation core, which requires some diamond and some more diamond. So, pretty expensive device, but not too bad, really. Go ahead and place down your teleporter block right there. Now, if you shift right-click on it, you'll be able to get into the interface. I think you need to shift right-click with just your bare hands, though. The first warning it's going to give you is that there's no frame. The frame's not too hard to make. Just got to build it up like this. Cool. Now if we shift right click on it, it'll say no link found because you need to link it to a destination. So I'm just going to build one over here. Cool. And all you got to do in order to link your teleporters is just give them a frequency. So you can change your frequencies right here like this. So I'm going to make this guy frequency, I guess we'll go with 0200. That sounds good. Right now it's telling us no link found, but I'm going to link it by making it 0200. We're going to need some power for this, so I'm actually going to show you guys that you can break your energy cubes. So this guy currently is not storing any. This guy is storing some basic energy cube. Break it and pick it up. You'll see it has a little internal buffer of stored energy still. And you can use it inside the blocks if you want. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, like I said, go ahead and put this guy right in here. Cool. Now, it's going to warn you if there's not enough power when you're standing on it, because that's when it calculates whether or not it's got enough power to run. And then all you got to do is right-click, and boom, you're teleported from one area to the next. Not bad. See, this guy's telling you needs energy. Cool. So a pretty quick and easy way to transport yourself. It's going to require more energy to go from one area to the next if it's a longer distance, but you can travel between dimensions using the system. So it's going to require a lot more energy to bounce between here and the nether, for example, but it's not bad. Pretty cool device. And the last thing you can do is get yourself a portable teleporter. So I'm actually going to bump this guy up to 0300 and shift right click the portable teleporter. 0300. So now this guy is 0200, right? There we go. No link found for 0200, but this guy is 0300. Neat. Just got to give yourself a little bit of a charge here. So let's go find something with some energy in it. Charge up our portable teleporter. Nice. That guy's going to require quite a bit of power. You can see he's already got 12 20 kilojoules in there, and he's still got a lot to go. So let's go ahead and use it by right-clicking and hitting teleport. Boom. Hey, cool, I made it. Nice. And this should be the 0300 portal. Nice, it is. And I can teleport to 0200 by just changing the destination and hitting teleport. Cool. Not bad. So that is an upcoming part of the Mekanism mod. And that wraps up the mod spotlight on Mekanism. Adds a bunch of machines and power generation and storage potential. Lots of cool things that it adds into the Universal Electricity mod pack. Now there's still quite a lot of mods to cover, so we're not even close to done covering all the different mods in Universal Electricity's mod pack. There's just bunches of them. It's crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed checking out Mekanism, a really cool mod that really should be starting to show you guys all the different machines and tools that Universal Electricity's mod pack has available for you guys. So this is Direwolf20 signing off. Take it easy.